Volk, a voice of the resistance, albeit a strange and funny one. Today's post, top ways to identify a narco-boat. Shooting first, killing survivors later takes war on drugs to a whole new level. As a new take on the old saying goes, everybody talks about drugs, but nobody does anything about them. Well, other than injecting, snorting, smoking, horking, or shoving them up their asses, that is. I'm not sure about that last one. I could be referring to ivermectin or the light bulbs that Dementia J. Trump said could cure COVID. I'm just not really sure. No one was really doing anything about them anyways until Dementia J. Trump decided it was about time to do something by shooting up boats filled with fishermen and lots of drugs. You know, like ibuprofen for back pain, Dramamine for seasickness, a little bit of Mary Jane to take the edge off the tedium, and Tylenol! Oh my God, they have Tylenol on board! Didn't Donnie warn us about the dangers of Tylenol? No wonder he's so freaked out! Anywho, the Orange Menace was so concerned about fentanyl and Tylenol coming from Venezuela that he decided to start blowing up narco boats to make sure the substances didn't make it onto U.S. streets. It's worth mentioning that this has absolutely nothing to do with Venezuelan oil. And he decided the best way to do that was to destroy the so-called drug boats that were bringing the drugs up from South America. How could he tell they were drug boats, you may ask? It was simple, really. He made sure to follow a very exacting set of criteria that involved asking the following probing questions. 1, is it a boat? If it is not a boat, it can't be using the ocean to smuggle drugs, now can it? If it is, chances are that it's probably transporting something. Number 2, is it in the waters off Venezuela's coast? If it's near Colombia, Guyana, or Suriname, it could be anything really. A fishing boat, a cruise ship, an oil tanker, or even a UFO. That's an unidentified floating object. But if it's near Maracaibo, Venezuela's largest port, however, is definitely a drug boat. If it is found to be a drug boat using those questions, that probing search, Trump then wants the crews on board Navy ships to answer a few additional important questions before attacking. 1, is it a big boat? In this case, size doesn't matter all that much. The crew just needs to know what weapons they need to deploy. Number 2, is it carrying large guns? It's no fun and it's hard to vaporize them if they fight back. Number 3, is it carrying any of Trump's donors? If so, abort, abort, abort. If not, feel free to proceed. And finally, is it carrying fish? Likely story. They just want us to think it's a fishing boat. Chances are, if they have seafood on board, it's to cover the smell of the drugs with an even worse smell. It might be easier to stop the boat and check, but why? Shoot first and ask questions later. As Dementia J. Trump likes to say, oh hell, as Pete Kegseth likes to say, shoot first, and if anybody's left, shoot him again. I've been David Volk, a voice of the resistance, albeit a strange and annoyed one.